darling, my old friend. I'm here to read for you again. Hello. welcome back to my channel. Cellulite and Lips Hero. Or Hillary for short. Hope that you're having a fantastic day. I'm sorry that it's been about a week now. Last week ended up being crazy around the time that I recorded this reading. So I'll give you a heads up and I'll put his timestamp down in the maybe comments or the description box to just skip forward to the reading if you're not interested in this part, because I don't blame you, you know. But for people who are interested, I'll give you a little bit of a rundown. So when I'm recording this, Monday was Memorial Day, which I didn't realize until Memorial Day, you know, so there's that. It's my daughter's first week into summer break, so things were just different. Tuesday I had a doctor's appointment to take my son to, and then at the same time I found more little scalp bugs on my daughter's hair, which would be the third time that I've found it since March. So I had to go through and really tear apart the house, shampoo all the carpets, really try to get every nook and cranny to make sure that every square millimeter was treated for that, because I'm tired of dealing with it. So yeah, and she's tired of dealing with it. So that took a couple days longer than I anticipated, so thank you for your patience. What is really cool is that I kind of had like a little spiritual I don't know, like enlightenment session. I wouldn't say, like, I'm not enlightened and I'm not claiming that, but I had a moment where I had a broader understanding of some things, and so I've been really thinking about that and really letting that sit in my mind and with my spirit and integrating that. And so I'm excited to see where things are going to go here with my channel, specifically regarding this stuff. I'm not going to talk about it yet because I don't feel comfortable enough with that. Not huge changes. I will say that I might start just throwing in more intuitive readings rather than following a daily format, you know, Manifestation Monday, Taco Tuesday, What's Good Wednesday. I might start throwing in intuitive readings. Yeah. Oh, another thing. So a huge milestone for the channel here, which I have to thank you all for contributing your time and your energy and everything that you have done for me, because that's the only reason that this is even happening. So thank you. I was finally monetized by YouTube. So the first tier of monetization, I'm in the YouTube partnership program, and so I will be able to start offering memberships, and I think there's like the option for like super chats and connecting a shop, you know, to my YouTube channel so that you can buy merchandise if you want to. I don't have any of that set up right now, and I don't even know when I'll have time to sit down and really think about what I'm gonna do for that. I don't have anything extra to offer with my time or energy yet for membership, so I feel weird even making that an option available, because it's like I'm not at a place where I even know what to offer additional, you know, additionally for people who want to pay for that. So yeah, I haven't set it up yet, but it's still something that I am qualified and approved for, so it's something I can enable at any point. And so I just want to thank you, because you're literally the only reason that that's happened, and I appreciate that you appreciate me. It means the world. I'm glad that in my, you know, striving to help give some answers and clarity and empower you so that you don't feel like you need answers from a tarot YouTube lady, I'm hoping that that's doing something good, because that's really what I want. That's really what I strive for, is the same help that I received years ago watching other people on YouTube. So yay, I'm so excited. Okay, let's jump into the reading. I'm just gonna do an intuitive reading, y'all. So let me mark the time, 4:24. I'll try to remember that, and I absolutely won't, but you know, we'll see. Okay. Let's jump into it. Spirit, my higher self, my darling's higher self, thank you so much for using me as a channel to guide and instruct. I ask for the most clear and concise messages, information, feelings, and sensations to flow through me for the betterment of my darling and for the highest good of everyone involved. Thank you so much, Spirit. And thank you so much for being here. Let's see, just an intuitive reading. What's going on here with my darlings, with my collective peoples here? What's the energy going on for my darling collective here? Ace of Cups. Well, you're loving yourself, others are loving you, you're loving life. This is really pouring a new understanding of love, a more innocent understanding of love, one that's not dependent on external things. It's just that pure initiation of love. This is really good. Okay. Okay. Five of Wands. This has been something that you're working through. Nine of Swords. Look at this. Queen of Wands on bottom. Five of Wands. Nine of Swords. Queen of Wands on bottom. Yeah. Okay. So I feel like whoever I'm speaking to, really the energy in your life has been that like maybe love and connections and relationships are hard. You haven't felt like you've had a real solid, deep friendship, deep relationship, deep connection with family, friends, even with feeling disconnected from your work, feeling disconnected from your hobbies, from yourself. There's been this level of disconnectedness and just like this feeling of anxiety of I don't know how to find peace. Where do I find peace? And I feel like right now you're stepping into a season where you are choosing peace. You're choosing to see peace. You're recognizing that it's not something outside of you. It's something that you have to feel and accept for yourself right now. Is saying I have an option to say or choose or believe what I want to. I'm not a victim to my circumstances. And so I feel like right now you're really laser focused on confidently choosing feelings that benefit you, that really aid towards your, empowerment. And this is something that I feel like you have maybe been practicing for some time, maybe really getting into practice mode with little things or something, but I feel like you're really magnetizing a lot to you right now. And if this isn't something that you feel like is relevant right now, maybe this is a little bit of guidance so that this is coming up for you. It's really instinctual to want external situations, external relationships, external connections, situations, jobs, cars, whatever, our home life, where we're at, to make us feel fulfilled in some way. That is very normal and instinctual, but part of a spiritual journey and an enlightenment journey, and something that we're always striving for is becoming a better version of ourselves. Not that, the version before us is bad, because it's not. There's no such thing as really good or bad, but it's something that it hasn't cultivated rest and peace with us. So I feel like you're really like, what do I need to do to cultivate a feeling of peace, of rest, of calm? How is my thought process, how is my perception really aiding or not aiding this situation? So I feel like you're getting very real with yourself, and you're experiencing a new level of pouring love over your life or over yourself or your connections that you haven't experienced before. Okay, I really like this energy. This is reminding me of, I think it was like an Instagram reel or something that I saw, where there was this person who said, how do you just not care what other people think about you? Like, how people who do this, how do you just not care? And someone like clipped in their, response to the video, and it was like, I had to realize that I didn't actually know what you were thinking about me. I only thought I knew what you were thinking about me. And so really what I did was I negatively judged you and then used that to speak badly of myself. And so in turn, the same thing that I've been worried that you're doing to me, I'm actually doing to you. And so once I realized that, I just stopped and I just assumed, people are actually kind. People are actually good. People are actually helpful. That's what I assume now. I don't assume the worst, because it's not fair. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to you. And so I assume the best now. And if I come across someone who, acts like a jerk, seemingly for no good reason, then I just assume that that person is projecting their own inner story on me the same way I used to do. And so with that understanding, I offer forgiveness and I let it go. It's not me that they have a problem with. It's something going on inside of them. And so I feel like this is really something that you're grasping conceptually, and you're like, okay, other people's reactions to me is not a reflection of me. And at the same time, what I believe other people believe about me is not the truth. That doesn't make it true. That doesn't mean that's what that person is actually thinking or feeling. That's not true. It's just my perception. And so who has the control here? I have the control here. I can assume everyone is kind. Rather than worrying that everyone's out to get me, everyone sees the worst in me. I have to sort of prove that I'm good enough. I have to prove, that I'm worthy of someone's admiration and affection. Yeah, it's you moving forward with this. So this is really good energy. Let's see, what is the blockage here for this? Ace of Wands, Knight of Cups, Five of Pentacles. So I think the blockage right now is that maybe we have a hard time seeing how new beginnings are possible with this level of emotional availability. Like, it almost feels like, I don't know, I'm kind of nervous to get involved in pouring genuine love, unconditional love over myself, over others, because it always ends up in feeling abandoned or feeling like I don't have enough, or I'm not receiving what I need to survive emotionally, physically, yeah, it's this fear of like things not working out right. So I feel like there's just maybe this hiccup where you try to manifest certain things, or you try to see certain good situations, and then you feel like, well, I keep getting proved the opposite. Everything that I try to manifest, I then experience the exact opposite. And what do I do with that? Does that mean that like what I'm thinking is wrong? Am I being completely delusional? I don't want to be delusional. I want to be someone who is grounded and emotionally stable. I don't want to be someone who's just off in la la land and not taking reality seriously. So there's this blockage of what you believe reality is for you, what is actually true. So we want to experience better. We know that we have an option of how we perceive better things, but then at the same time we feel bound and restricted by what we perceive as reality outside of what we're thinking. We have yet to really believe that our thoughts create our reality, that our emotions create our reality. What we perceive as true is actually true, right? So then there's this disconnect with what we desire and what we believe is true being a little bit different. There's a disconnect here, right? We're not connecting to that on a really natural level right now. Okay, what do we expect from this situation? Actually, what happened in the past? Two of Pentacles. I think you had this realization that like, no matter which way you choose, it's your creation. Empress on bottom and the Two of Pentacles is upright coming out. Yeah, you're just like, you had this realization. I do create something. I can see how my own perception or my own judgments then perpetuated certain feelings or perpetuated certain situations. So if I'm not being consistent, if I'm not being stable, then I'm going to experience instability, right? What I then create is instability. I don't want to create instability. So there's this understanding, this reclamation of power of like, okay, it is me, and not in a self-blaming way, but like, wow, it really is me. I really am, the main culprit here. And what an empowering place to be once you really realize that. And then I think what gets you is like, you have these moments where you have these empowerment, and then you have what you feel like is, back to reality, humbling moments where you're like, oh man, I don't know. Actually, was I just being delusional? Am I feeling like I'm more grandiose, having moments of grandeur? Am I out of my mind, right? Am I out of my mind? Queen of Swords, am I out of my mind? Am I seeing things clearly? Am I lying to myself? What if things are not as good as they could, what if things don't get better? What if I'm not being honest with myself? I'm trying to see the truth here, right? Rather than just have this like charismatic, no, I'm going to make it fit the way that I want it to with the King of Wands. Yeah. Okay. What do we expect to happen with this, time of really pouring love over life? Okay. What's the Seven of Cups? With the Seven of Wands on bottom and the High Priestess. Look at that, using your intuition to really choose and stand up for what you want and desire, right? This is a place of empowerment. The Seven of Wands is someone who is defending their place, taking the high ground, choosing the higher path, right? No matter what people, thoughts, situations are trying to bring you back down, choosing the higher path of like, no, I know who I am. I know who I am. Okay, the Seven of Cups, from what we expect there to be many situations that we have to sift through and decipher. What do I want to believe? What do I want to accept? Okay, That's an amazing place to be. I love that you are understanding, hey, just because I want to create certain things in my life, I want to be a certain way, I want to, get rid of all my unhealthy habits, I want to facilitate more cohesive connections. I want to have better relationships. I want to have a better relationship with myself. I want to have a better relationship with money. Whatever this is, you're understanding that just because I want that doesn't mean that there's not going to be things that try to distract me, right? I'm understanding that I have a pattern of behavior. I'm habitually distracted by things, or there's other things that I have viewed as true for so long, so I'm going to have to face these head on. I'm going to have to choose very intentionally what actually gets an emotional reaction out of me. Okay, this is what wants to be what you don't see. 4 of Wands, literal inner union, complete happiness, stability. Also, this is telling me family celebrations, gathering, connections, having people around you who support you, who cheer you on, who rally around you, and, just revel in your uprising. Okay. So I feel like you're on the right path here to creating what you want. Maybe you're trying to create a more stable home life, and this is something that you don't see coming, but it is absolutely coming with the Empress. Look at that. Oh my gosh, one of you might be becoming a parent, possibly. Not necessarily, but Empress, the Moon, and the Magician. It's you're going to recognize how much you can change literally everyone and everything around you. It's not things outside of you that change, it's what's within you. You're diving deep to the scary stuff, the things that you really don't want to take a look at, that you really don't want to confront, the painful things, the things that make you feel like that only, I'm almost getting embarrassing thoughts, embarrassing moments that you don't want to think about, where you're not very proud of who you were, right? But you're recognizing, I have to go through and think about who I was in those moments. It's a shadow work for your empowerment. It's really important, but not to sit there in that feeling. It's how do I want to explain that? I feel like it's reflective, but not too much. Okay, I feel like sometimes we can really think about the past so much that it almost becomes oh my gosh, what was Lot's wife in the Bible? I don't remember her name, but as they're leaving Sodom and Gomorrah, they were told not to look back, but she looked back, and what was she? Turned into a pillar of salt, right? And I feel like the symbolism there is that if you continually look back, then you are preserving. Salt is a preserving, thing. You're preserving the past, right? You're preserving it and keeping it here fresh with you. So there's something about maybe possibly revision, right? Revision, not preserving the past, letting that be, letting that go. But yeah, you don't see this coming, right? You don't see this coming. Okay. That's what we don't expect to do. To stop preserving the past, to just move forward, to be a new creation. The Empress, an active new creator, Yeah, okay. What is coming up in the situation? What is coming up? The Fool, new beginnings. New beginnings, a new you, a new, view on life, a new lease on life. Okay, you just saying, I'm all in. No matter what I see, no matter what I experience, no matter what happened in the past, no matter who I've been, I'm a new me. And I'm going to stick by that consistently, right? I am going to choose to be a new version of myself no matter what. So what do I need to do? What habits do I need to keep in mind? What feelings, what practices do I need to really implement into my life to be someone new? Okay, well, if something pops up that's disappointing, am I going to sit there? Am I going to let that stew inside of me? Am I going to let that be a voice that says, see, this is why you're never going to get where you want to go. This is why you're stuck doing what you're doing. This is why you're never going to change this habit. This is why you're never going to be loved. This is why you're never going to feel connected with people. This is why you're never going to be successful. You're never going to make money. Am I going to sit there and I'm going to let these situations stew in me and then recreate who I have been, who I have accepted myself to be? Or am I going to change habits and say, that's just a temporary moment? Now, what I do with this, how can I make this work out for me? Because it's working out for me either way, right? This is fresh start energy. once you have a fresh start, you can't really go back, right? You really got to leap in. You really got to go. You can't be just toes in the water. You got to go, right? You got to really invest in it. Even if it seems foolish, right? Even if you're not practiced in it with the fool, it doesn't matter. You want something new, you got to be something new. You can't go back to old habits, right? So, luckily, I want to say this specifically. Even if you have moments where these thoughts pop up, you can change it at any moment, right? Nothing is a failure. You're not a failure. You're not failing anything if you have these moments. It's just how much you decide to get back up and to move forward with your new habits, with your new thought processes, with your new beliefs, okay? That is the important element here. You only fail in what you're trying to create if you believe that's true. If you say, oh, that didn't work out, so I failed, and you believe that, okay, then that's what you just created. That's what you're creating. But then you could also at the very same moment flip it and just say, no, it's just a moment. This is me, hitting every green light on on the boulevard, and then I'm going speed limit, but I get too close to the light and all of a sudden it turns yellow, and I know that if I keep going, I'm going to be running a red light, but it's also, I'm too close to the light, so if I try to stop in time, then I'm going to have to slam on the brakes, and that's not a fun ride. It's a scary stop moment. So it's just this is just a moment. I'm still going where I need to go. This is just a temporary inconvenience, right? Everything's just a temporary inconvenience. So you're just choosing to be new self. You're not allowing yourself to preserve old self. It's amazing stuff. How do you feel about the situation? How is Darling going to feel about the situation? I just saw the 10 of Pentacles. It didn't come out, but it flashed for a second, and that's enough for me. I feel like you're really facilitating a feeling of material abundance. Okay, what is that? What is that? The Moon reversed. Yeah. Realizing what you've been afraid of all along. Fear of failure, fear of, feeling exposed in some way. Again, this embarrassment feeling, right? What if I make a fool of myself doing something, literally with the fool? I feel like your feelings are it doesn't matter. It's only negative if I say it's negative. So many people, I'm going to just use celebrities as an example, and I'm really not a celebrity person. I don't know the first or last thing about a lot of celebrities. I'm not a celebrity person, but I will say there's a habit here online where people doing what they love to do, or putting themselves out there, trying new things, these celebrities, they get just a backlash of just people trying to mock and belittle and make them feel like they're an idiot, just talking down about them, right? And so it's just do you think those celebrities actually give a crap that, there's hundreds of thousands of people who just have nothing better to do with their time than to just mock and belittle what celebrities are doing? You could be spending your own time off of that, focusing on things that you want to do, but you're focusing on just trying to make other people feel lesser than, because that's what you feel. So there's this feeling of I only have to be embarrassed about failing if I really care about what other people think, right? Again, well, how do you stop caring about what other people think? How do you stop caring? So even if someone says something mean or rude, or they're just being a dick, again, it's just a projection of what they're dealing with their own stuff. They feel unfortunate, they feel whatever, and so they're projecting that onto you, right? So there's this feeling of I don't have to be embarrassed, I don't have to feel ashamed when things don't work out. 4 of Wands again, and the 7 of Pentacles, exactly. It's all about what I invest my time and energy into. Is it really worth my time to be, assessing every little thing I do as not enough? If I want to feel sustained, if I want to be able to reap rewards that I am happy with, how am I going to do that if I belittle and I critique every single thing that I do, right? If I'm worried that it's not going to work out, if I worry about how I look, if I worry about whatever, how am I going to get the desired reality that I want? You're not, right? This is good awareness. Again, exactly, it's a lie, right? Illusions, these fears, these insecurities, they're lies, you can view them as lies. You get to decide what's true for you. Yeah, things are only true about you if you believe them, right? If you think something's embarrassing or, foolish or whatever, you only think that because that's what you think. Yeah, I like it. Okay, how about others? I think we're not trying to focus on what others think, but whatever. Let's see. How are others perceiving the situation. Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. I want one more for that, actually. Page of Pentacles is like good news, you know, it's like a good opportunity. Seven of Pentacles, Four of Wands, Nine of Wands. Look at that. I feel like people are just like, I feel like you have a lot of people around you who actually see your potential, whether or not they say that. This could be completely subconscious energy, but it's basically all pentacles. I mean, there's two pentacles, two wands. So yeah, I'd say it's half material, half, you know, realized, and half spiritual for sure. But I feel like other people just like see that you have so much potential to you. You really could be something more. You really could succeed in ways that you're maybe haven't seen before, right? They also just really admire the way that you're willing to try something new, right? You're not willing to be someone who, like, you break the mold in some way. You break the mold, like where people just say, you know, the best prediction of future behavior is past behavior. You maybe have been someone who's lived by that and really judged people by that. You just expect patterns to repeat. And so then you facilitate repeating your own patterns, right? And so it's really cool to see other people being like, wow, they're breaking their own mold. You're breaking the mold. You're showing people that you can change. You can change from one thing. You can go from rags to riches. You can go from pessimistic to optimistic. You can be someone who, you know, is down and depressed and worried to being someone who is a ray of freaking sunshine. You know, you can change whatever you want to change if you're consistent enough. So I feel like people are really delighted in that. And then at the same time, a little apprehensive, right? Because it's almost like, it's exciting. It's exciting to see you doing this. It's exciting to see you stepping into your own skin and believing in yourself and doing things that no one thought that you could do. Maybe you didn't even think that you could do. But at the same time, people are like, okay, is this like, how long is this gonna last? You know, with the Nine of Wands, like, how long is this gonna last? Like, should we get excited for them for real, or like, is this gonna, you know, is the shoe gonna drop, you know? Yeah, again, because it's almost like you may have been someone who really communicated or seemed like someone who would be stuck in their ways and not really take chances to move forward, right? So it's just something unexpected. Look at you, Nine of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. 9 to the 10. Are you kidding? Changing your life, right? Didn't even seem possible. Didn't even seem possible. Okay, what's my darling's biggest hopes for this situation? Your biggest hope being Seven of Swords. Okay, that's, okay, strategy. Strategy. Okay, and it's all about how you perceive. Thank you. It's all about how you perceive. So some people think that this is lying or trickery, right? But really, this person, the core essence of this card is that this person is at like a battlefield. There's going to be some sort of battle here, right? And this person wants peaceful resolution. This person wants the people, their friends, their family, their fellow, you know, fighters to be safe. And so what they're doing, very, you know, non-traditional way of handling things, but they're going to the enemy camp and they're stealing their weapons. They're stealing them. They're removing them from the equation so that they can't be used against them in this upcoming battle. Okay? It's a strategy. It's a plan. It's something that is so out there that people wouldn't even think about that, right? So this is you just being like, okay, I know that what I'm thinking is so out there, but maybe it's gonna be effective. Maybe it's gonna be effective. Like, and people are gonna be like, man, I don't know, or I'm not sure about that, but you're just like, it's gonna be effective, right? My strategy is gonna be effective. Okay, is there anything else for this hopes that you want to show me? Normally I do two for the hopes and the fears, so let's see. The Sun and the Queen of Cups. It's gonna be effective. I'm hoping my strategy is going to be effective. I'm going to see things better. I'm going to feel more love. I'm going to feel more, you know, connected, more safe. I'm really fighting for my inner child. I'm really fighting for my own inner safety. I'm really fighting for my own love, for my zest for life again. Yeah, for better days ahead. I love it, right? Okay, and my darling's fears about this situation. Three of Cups. That kind of came out neutral. Again, that like, even if I do this, the connection doesn't seem to be there, right? The connection doesn't seem to be there. This could also be this is not for everyone. The last time I mentioned this channeling, someone got so snarky with me in the comments and were just like, I don't drink, but thanks for assuming like everyone else. If it doesn't fit you, then it's not yours. If you have a problem with drinking, then you might be worried that maybe this whole situation is you trying to stop drinking, and you're worried that you won't be able to, that you'll still be indulging in this sort of like temporary patching. You know, some people use alcohol to sort of cover their emotions, to really block the way that they're feeling. So maybe you're just like, I don't know, maybe I only feel good. Maybe this idea came to you when you were drinking or something. Maybe I only feel good if I have liquid courage, right? What if I go sober and I stop drinking and I, face this and I go through the hard stuff, the detox, all of that, and then I don't feel as good as I do when I'm drinking, okay? That could be for some of you. That's very specific. Now, I think the other part is just like the lack of connection, the lack of community, just feeling like I'm not sure, just feeling like it's going to take a while for you to feel connected, to feel really supported and engaged with the Knight of Pentacles too. Yeah, okay, that's an understandable fear, whether or not you believe it, hell, there's plenty of well-created horror movies that scare me, terrify me. I could even have trouble sleeping, but at the end of the day, do I believe it? So you don't have to believe your fears. What's the outcome here? Five of Cups, Six of Swords. Look at you moving past the perpetual feelings of disappointment. The Hermit, all on your own. The Hierophant. This is dedication and commitment to a broader understanding of who you are. The Hierophant can be represented as like, some people view it as like a God energy, right? God in the flesh, right? So I feel like this is you being the practicing, consistent, committed God version of yourself here that says, I get to choose what makes me feel sad, I get to choose what I believe, or I get to move forward, right? It's all in my hands. There's no one else responsible for my inner happiness, for me moving forward, for me choosing healthier thoughts, for me getting out of mental conflict. No one else is responsible for that but me and God, and I'm one and the same, right? One and the same with God. My soul is literally the soul of God, the Spirit of God. It is. So, I love it. I love it. Oh, look at this. Okay, Ten of Swords and the King of Wands. That tells me ego death, right? Now, when I say ego death, ego has a purpose, right? You need ego for a lot of things, so I'm not here to demonize the ego, but your current persona, your current ego may be this person who, has certain vices, unhealthy vices, or is perpetually feeling like things never work out, or you're not connected. Your current persona believes all the bad things that you have been, right? So this would be telling me putting a death to that really stubborn side of you that says things don't work out. Things don't work out. This is you changing your truth. Changing your truth. I really love that energy. Okay, let me see. Is there any mindfulness? What do we need to be mindful of for the situation with my darling? Yeah. What do we need to be mindful of? Be aware of? Take it all with a grain of salt, honey. Okay? If it resonates for you, great. If it doesn't, that's all right. That's all right. If it doesn't help you, then it doesn't help you. Go find something that does. I don't take offense. This is meant for who it's meant for, and it's not meant for who it's not meant for. All right. What do we need to be aware of, and how we need to handle that? Six of Pentacles reversed. Oh, my deck is upside down. Okay. Six of Pentacles upright. The World wanted to come out, and then the Ace of Swords is on bottom. Okay. Again, okay, so in the original depiction of the Six of Pentacles is a wealthy person who is generously giving money to two people. Well, there's two people there, begging for the time, the resources, the energy begging for that, and the person in the picture is only giving to one. Okay? Now, I feel like this is saying what you invest in, believing as your tangible truth, because the pentacles are tangible, they're here, the material, they're what you believe is reality. What you choose to believe is permanent or is true or is even what's not true. What's true and what's not true. You get to choose what you invest in, right? So this is all about you realizing that you can be a new creation with the world, okay? You have gone through some sort of awakening here, some sort of realization about your higher power, your higher understanding, your true essence and authority over your life, and you've done it successfully. This realization is something real if you want to believe it. But ultimately, it's up to you. If you believe that things are not done, if you believe that you're not going to change, then that is what you will experience as true, because that is how you're perceiving it. So this is all about be mindful of giving energy to old ways of thinking, old ways of being, versus investing in a new version of you, a version of you that says, I've learned something and I'm implementing it, right? The world can also be about reflecting on where you came from, where you started versus where you are now, and so that you can recognize your own accomplishments, right? You might be someone, because of who you've been, where you have a hard time really acknowledging your accomplishments. It's almost like when you do something successful, when you do something that is good or that, you should feel proud of, there's almost always been an excuse as to why that was just luck, beginner's luck, chance. It's almost like you haven't invested in that being like, hell yeah, that's who I am. Yeah, I'm good at that. Yeah, I'm talented at that. Yes, I've learned that. Yes, I'm knowledgeable in that. So this is really saying, really reflect on who you used to be, so that you can recognize that version of you is not preserved now, unless you choose to preserve it now. And be thankful for who you were, because who you were was necessary in the stepping stones to get you to who you are now. We don't need to hate who we were. We don't need to despise who we were. We don't need to view that version of ourselves as lesser than. We need to give that version of ourselves the same acknowledgement that we want to give ourselves now and that we desire to receive moving forward, okay? It's all necessary. It's all necessary. All right. Anything else? Ace of Swords. Yeah, that's just you communicating the truth to yourself, right? Anything else here before we close this out? The Hermit. You might be a Virgo, because we got the Hermit out here twice. 4 of Wands and the 10 of Pentacles. Honey, literally, oh my gosh. Ace of Pentacles, 3 of Wands. 10 of Swords at bottom. 5 of Swords, the High Priestess. And the Hanged Man. This is so freaking powerful. Okay. Hermit, 4 of Wands. 10 of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles, 3 of Wands. You need to give yourself the credit that you deserve, okay? You're not delusional. You're not irrational. You're not having ideas of grandeur, okay? You have found an inner truth that is necessary for your enlightenment and your purpose moving forward. Who you believe you are, only you get to decide. So you really acknowledging that is you laying a foundation for future abundance. And guess what? You can feel that feeling now. You deserve to feel that feeling now. You get to deserve to say, just like a child in school, okay? Just like a child in high school. They haven't graduated yet. They're not going to college. They're not there yet. They know that's coming. Just because you're not there at the 10 of Pentacles yet doesn't mean that's not your future. So you get to say, everything I'm doing now is laying the foundation for my ultimate success, right? And with that, every opportunity that you face is something that you get to take action moving forward to facilitate that even more. When you are called to take action, you take action. When you're called to, apply for, certain grants or certain scholarships or new jobs or something, whatever this is. When you're called to do something, do it. And just trust. The more and more that you do it, the more and more that is laying the foundation for your abundance, okay? And let it be natural. It should feel natural. It shouldn't feel forced, okay? Sometimes we feel like we really need to be forced out of something because it's so bad. And I feel like that's where you've been. It's been so bad before, you know, 10 of Swords, 5 of Swords. It's been so bad before that you really had to force yourself to get out of it. So that sometimes that feeling of force is because you are so deeply in a place that you're not supposed to be, right? Sort of like the feeling of if I were to go into a crocodile, a swamp full of crocodiles, and I was just in the middle. I know I need to take action to get out of there, and you bet like hell I'm gonna be feeling scared. I'm gonna be feeling nervous. I'm gonna feel the pressure. So when I say it should feel natural, I mean once you get out of that swamp full of those crocodiles and you get to safety, it's gonna be pretty easy to be like, okay, I gotta get in the car and I gotta go home, you know? Like that's gonna be the natural response. So I feel like you've already been in the thick of it, and so moving forward, you're out of the worst of it, and so taking these steps forward to your ultimate abundance should feel more natural. Okay, should feel more natural. Ultimately, you know, and I feel like you're very aware of these thoughts that you've had before. 10 of Swords, 5 of Swords. You're very aware of it, and you're bringing light to them, and you are actively choosing to see things differently and walk away from thoughts that perpetually create a reality of disappointment. That's who you are right now. That's who you are. That's what you're doing. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I love who you are. You should love who you are. I'm here. I'm connected with you. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. How do we want to close this off, Spirit? Moon Witch oracles. Okay. Let's do it. You know, I keep trying to get to where I'm making only like 15-minute long videos because that's really the average view length of my videos are 15 minutes. And so I'm like, okay, I know that not everyone likes these longer readings, but it's like I can't help it. I just get so deep into it. And yeah, that's okay. I'm going to manifest that people like the longer readings more than 15-minute readings. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's a lot. Not meant. Okay. What do you want, my darling, to see moving forward? Alright. Sekhmet, courage, truth, shadow work. Yeah, the shadow work, I feel like you've been doing that. You've been afraid of it, but it's necessary. And like I said, you don't need to shame yourself for where you feared or things that you've been embarrassed of or what you believe to be true or caring about what other people think. It's not something to shame. It's something to empower. It takes courage, and the more you do it, the easier it gets and the less scary it gets, right? Balsamic Moon, things come and go. Surrender to the universe. Yep. And then at the bottom we have Hecate. Change is important. Release the past. Yeah. Release the past. Don't look back. Don't preserve it. Don't become a pillar of salt preserving the past and the future and the current. Yeah. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I hope that this reading resonated for you and that you feel like it was empowering for you. I hope that it helped give some perspective that you maybe were looking for. I will always say that you don't need tarot readers or anyone else to tell you something that you don't already know within you at some level. You know, maybe we don't know it as, you know, really crystallized information, but sometimes we come to these readings because we're looking for a sign of something that we've already thought or been aware of. So yeah, hopefully this is not something new to you. It shouldn't be something new to you. This is something that you already know at some level and should just be confirming. Okay, tomorrow is Taco Tuesday. We're gonna see who is talking about you, or I might just do another. We'll see. I don't know. This week I might just do intuitive readings, as I was talking about. We'll see what I feel like. We'll see. I hope to see you then. I hope that you have a great rest of your day, a wonderful week, or a fantastic life. I love you so much. Take care, and ta-ta!